The type of brother that Damon was, he was very loving, very protective. He definitely wanted the best for me. We used to love to listen to music. Like, he loved Lauryn Hill. I remember he had like a giant cutout of Lauryn Hill, like the straight poster in his room. And I remember my mom, she worked nights. So when she'd leave from work, we'll, just put all the music in there and just play all the music in her room and just vibe. So he called me like 2-3 days prior and was like, yo, we gonna see who wears a better outfit with this polo hat for my nephew's graduation. And so my mom called me and told me she heard that Damon was shot. I just rushed to the scene, like I just blacked out and just drove straight there. And so that was the outfit he died in. And so just seeing that hat and just seeing him laid out like that, it hurt. His death, I didn't believe it. I was just like, maybe they mixed it up. They couldn't have been Damon. If he got shot, he gonna make it, And it was the shock. But when I walked and seen him, it made it real. And then I was just in a state of rage. And just anger overcame me. And just, honestly, I just wanted to hurt anybody that seemed like they did anything to my brother.
The impacts of the trauma of losing a loved one unexpectedly has a grave impact that's long lasting on the families itself. And then also there's a heightened sense of vulnerability that I think comes along with losing a loved one to gun violence.
I think violence is a public health crisis. It's something that impacts individuals in the sense that it's not only the impacts the person who was, killed, unfortunately, but that immediate family, and then their immediate family, and then it spreads out to family and friends, and then the community as a whole.
What brought me strength was looking at my mom, my niece, and so just to be strong for them and make sure I can see the process for the funeral and everything.
I actually had a one-to-one meeting with Keyon himself, with him and his mother, as we discussed funeral arrangements for his brother. When they see their loved one in the casket at the church or at the funeral home, I think that's when reality really sets in that this is really final for them. Grief within itself is not an easy thing to carry. When it comes to homicide, I think it's the belief that the loved one was taken away from them and they weren't ill or they weren't in a car accident. That's one of the things that makes it a lot harder to deal with, is because the fact that the loved one was taken away violently.
Every time there's a holiday, every time that family gets together and that piece of the puzzle is missing, that seat at the table is missing, that particular personality is missing from the family. So it's just a ongoing event that carries itself over the period of time that's almost unforgettable.
It's your brother. I'm just calling to check on you, see how you was feeling. Let me know when.
And I actually have voicemails of him that I saved that I listened to. But, it's truly hard to cope with something like that. Because the fact that it happened on Mother's Day, it hurt my mom. Like, Mother's Day will never be the same. Me and my niece we was drinking for about a month or two straight, just coping.
So I think a gun homicide impacts or alters somebody's daily life because it's disruptive.
With my business, I sell barbecue sauces and seasonings at Soulard Market. And so I'm doing business selling to customers face to face. So dealing with grief, anger, and sadness, but at the same time I have to put on this mask and be happy and smile. And it was kind of hard doing that. After Damon's death, that lit a fire in me. And so that's what made me decide to start Black Men Read and make it a nonprofit organization to mentor youth, mentor men in our age range, and just using literacy to build self-love, self-awareness, and social awareness amongst Black men in our community. Because I feel like we feel like we have limited options, but through literacy and exploring the world and seeing stuff outside of your environment, it can change the trajectory of your life. Just knowing that I'm doing something positive in his memory, that really motivates me, and that's what helps me cope with my brother, by taking that negative and turning it into a positive. And being in a city where gun violence is prevalent, and knowing that I can relate to a lot of the youth, because my experience is not just me talking, you get what I'm saying? Being someone that experienced the loss and the heartache and having all those emotions, and it just resonates even more with the youth.
My greatest hope for Keyon and his entire family, one, is to feel a sense of wholeness, even though that their loved one and his brother has been taken away from him.
My biggest hope for homicide survivors is that they find peace and find meaning, if there is any, in the tragedy that occurred.
If I can say one final message to my brother Damon, I would tell him that your death was not in vain, it wasn't meaningless, and that impact of your death will resonate throughout years to come. And it will be the catalyst and the motivation for me to pursue my goals, my dreams, and making the world a better place. Happy birthday, Damon. Banana pudding. Nice bread pudding from